All right. Welcome in, folks. This is JE Live, and it is on a Monday, August, I believe that says 15th. Uh, welcome in. We'll be talking about the Rams and Jets today. We'll be talking about two topics tonight, and obviously I'll answer your questions, comments, concerns, all that jazz. But two things that are on my mind. Obviously, I've already mentioned the Perkins thing. I think he should be potential QB2 for the Rams, but I'll be having a video that comes out, down the road, probably tomorrow, I would say. Today was really weird because YouTube, for whatever reason, trying to upload anything today was just a pain in the ass. I don't know why. It took 4 hours. I woke up at 4 a.m. today to edit the podcast for DTR, and I did that. And after all of that, it took like 4 hours for it to upload. It was an hour long, wasn't 4K or anything like that. Took an hour. Took 4 hours to upload on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we'll figure this out. But we're going to be talking about Lance McCutcheon because I'll have the Bryce Perkins video out tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't take 4 hours. Lance McCutcheon to the Rams, making the 53. We'll talk about that. And we're going to talk about Joe Flacco because Zach Wilson is going to miss time. That's for sure. Okay, we know that. How much time? We don't know. He's going to get surgery tomorrow. We'll see. He's in LA for the surgery. Hopefully they don't find stuff, with that knee. So I'm really hoping for good news on that end. And so are the Jets. They feel good, but there's always a risk. And so with that said, since Zach Wilson is likely going to miss time, we're going to be talking about Joe Flacco. Can Joe Flacco lead the Jets to some W's on the schedule? That's what we're going to be talking about. So those two things, and then we'll be answering your questions. What's up, Ruiz? How's it going? Let's go. Yes, let's go. Sorry for the late stream. I just decided to go late tonight. Lance better make this roster. LMC on the 53. Hey, that rhymes. Injuries to Henderson and Akers now. These guys just can't stay healthy. Rams should have kept Sony Michel, and now we're going to have to sign a veteran running back. I don't think so. I think they'll be fine. And, they really like Kyron Williams. Jake Funk actually played pretty solidly in the preseason. They liked what they had out of him. AJ Rose. So I don't think they're going to go after another running back. I don't think they value the position enough to do that. And Sony Michel, Sony Michel wasn't what they're looking for. He doesn't fit. They have to change their offense for Sony Michel. He can't run the same type of style of offense. He's more of a 12 personnel grouping guy. Not really a guy that gives you the versatility to pass catch out of the backfield. Does the little things that Henderson does and Akers does. So I think that's why they let him go. Obviously, he wouldn't have cost much at all, but I don't mind Sony being gone. Appreciate his contributions, but he really was trying to fit a round peg into a round hole into a square peg, essentially. Totally butchered that. I don't care. The point is the Rams had to change their personnel grouping just to get him going. So, that's where we stand on that. Lance says anything like that again, he is in. Nope, I'm fine with Sony leaving. Too pricey. He doesn't fit scheme. He doesn't fit the scheme. He wasn't too pricey though. He was pretty cheap. Those running backs, man, they don't cost much anymore. We need to sign Jared Cook. Do you have a Switch? Thinking about getting one. My brother and my sister do. I do not. I don't really play video games that much. I have a PS5, and I was so excited to play it the other day, and then I realized I didn't really want to play it that much. So, does Lance's performance make Howell expendable and pushes Tutu into the returner deep threat? Howell? Who's Howell? Am I losing my mind? I can't think of Howell. Harris? Are you talking about Harris? I wouldn't say he makes anybody expendable. I think they could keep Lance and not have to push anybody off the roster. Yeah, that's too much. So, let's discuss it. Powell. There we go. Yeah, I don't think it pushes Powell off the roster. No, thank you. Sorry, my brain is dead. Um, yeah, I don't think it pushes Powell off the roster. He didn't play. I think he's good to go. Um, I think they're more likely to just keep Lance. Here's the thing about Lance McCutcheon. When you look at what he brings to the table, and this is a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", uses his body composition very well. I was very impressed with his ability, to box out defenders, play the deep ball. Was really impressed with him, and to go up in between two defenders and get that ball and then come down with it and score. I was definitely, in I was feeling good about him. And then when he came down, the guy's grabbing him by the jersey, and he comes down with the second touchdown. That's ridiculous. Plus, the move he made at the top of the stem in the end zone to shake a defender for the 2-point conversion. There's a lot to like about Lance McCutcheon. He didn't run super fast at the pro day or whatever, but it doesn't really matter when you can play like that. So. Yeah, I'm very excited for him. He's going to get an opportunity against Houston and Cincinnati, so we'll see, what he does. But I think the Rams are going to be left with a hard decision to make, regardless. I mean, you keep Lance McCutcheon on, who's now off the roster. Things change, things evolve, and so it's something to keep in mind moving forward. But with that said, another thing to keep in mind is Perkins, because it's the numbers game, right? And it gets to the point where it's like, yeah, it's great and all, Perkins keeping 3 quarterbacks, but that means something has to give. And I'll read off my 53-man roster. I'm actually going to make a Jets one. Going to have a Jets video coming soon about the 53. Made a Rams preseason 53. We'll do one post-week 1 preseason 53. That'll be coming probably tomorrow or the next day. So plenty of Rams content coming out, don't you worry. But initially, I had the Rams keeping Perkins. As far as the roster bubble, Perkins, Jake Funk, Jacob Harris as the 7th receiver. Kept 3 tight ends. Roster bubble here, I had Shelton, Ankrum, Arcuri, Jackson. I had Bruss as the starter. I would probably move him down. I don't think he's going to be starting. Hoyt as the bubble guy there on the defensive line. Shout out to Marquis Copeland, who's clearly the 4th man there, who will get an opportunity this year for sure, because he didn't even play in the preseason. That speaks a lot of volumes to where they believe he is and how important he is. And then you talk about the outside linebackers. It's pretty much what you expect. Floyd, Hollins, Lewis, Garrett, and Hardy. Really liked Benton Whitley, so I will put him on my practice squad this upcoming video. Let's see here. I had Hummel as the 3rd inside linebacker, but Christian Roseboom didn't play, which signals to me that he's probably going to be on the 53. So Hummel might slide into the practice squad spot. But I got to say, shout out to Anthony Hines III. That was some fantastic special teams that he played. He had some decent plays on the defense. That's a guy that is not being talked about at all, but I was very impressed with his ability on special teams, and that is something that coaches look at. So don't look away from Anthony Hines III. He's an intriguing guy. Jake Gervais looked better at the linebacker spot. Guy converted safety to linebacker. Very, very fast player. So we'll see in regards to that, but Roseboom will probably sneak into the inside linebacker spot. I had them keeping 6 corners. I don't think that changes. There's no way they can afford to let Kendrick go on to waivers. They're not getting him back. And then safety, I'll say this. I think it's going to be interesting because you have Burgess playing, which was really a surprise. The only one of the 5 that I kept that was playing. Obviously, Lake is on the PUP. If he's on there too long, though, Lake might not make the team. So that's going to be interesting. Russ Yeast played, J-Ron McVay. I thought Daniel Isom, you got the best contribution from him. He's the guy that had the game-winning interception that sealed the game. And then finally, I think when you look at Cameron Dicker, I think the Rams could be making a mistake not having Riley Dixon actually face Cameron Dicker, because I think Dicker looked really good in preseason. As far as the running backs, I'm not the biggest fan of just giving the nod to Funk. I kind of like AJ Rose more than Funk, to be honest with you. Asim Rose, I think, is somebody who offers, the balance that you want in a running back. He's got a nose for the end zone. He's got good cut ability. And, I mean, I understand Jake Funk is fast, but Rose seems more built. I like Rose more, to be honest with you. So we'll see how that evolves. But, Jake Funk's the draft pick. Jake Funk was on the team last year. He'll probably get the 4th spot. But I think AJ Rose might actually be the better running back, if I'm being honest. The vision is there. I think he's I think he's quick, and I think Jake Funk is going to make this team because of, the familiarity factor. He was already on it last year. Calais is still solid. I don't think people give Calais enough credit. This is somebody that I think does really well in the, when he has to make a quick decision inside the trenches. I mean, he's a smaller back, and I don't think he really has a problem with that. So that's something to keep in mind there. The wide receivers, there's only 2 wide receivers that came down with passes from Bryce Perkins. Lance McCutcheon, who had 5, and Austin Trammell. J.J. Koski will not make this team, and I don't think Landon Akers is going to make this team. But you know what's really interesting is Austin Trammell is somebody that, he's hardly been on this team. And he comes out there, and he had some good moments. I liked Trammell. I like Trammell as a practice squad guy. I think, I would adjust my practice squad accordingly. I want to see next week more, this upcoming week, more Jamal Pettigrew. I saw they moved Roger Carter out wide. I didn't see any Jared Pinkney. Probably means that he's not going to make the team in all likelihood. And again, I've already touched on this, but Luis Perez, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't see any time in preseason until maybe the final quarter of Game 3. This is the opportunity to get all of those reps to Perkins. I think Bryce Perkins needs all those reps. He's not going to be able to play during the regular season. It makes a lot of sense. So those are my thoughts on that. And since we're covering both the Rams and the Jets, I want to give a shout out to the 3 guys that really stood out to me on tape going back and watching the Jets preseason game. Because, I already pretty much made it clear who I thought stood out to me on the Rams. But, yeah, there were some interesting contributors for the Jets. Lawrence Cager's a former wide receiver, and now he's like a wide receiver tight end mix. I'm not saying he'll make the roster, but I like the way he played. And former Ram Tanzel Smart, believe it or not, had a really, really good game. He had 2 sacks, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's what I had him down for. So that's an interesting one there. I really like the way he played, and I really like Jabari Zuniga from Florida. That guy really showed out. I was impressed with him. So, we'll see what ends up happening. But those were guys that stood out for me for the Jets, and some other guys, of course. Not just those. I think when you look at the guys that Michael Clemens, the rookie, and Caleb Beninock, the offensive line. Speaking of offensive line for the Rams, I wasn't really impressed with the Rams offensive line. I wasn't. I thought you saw some good things out of Tremaine Ankrum, and I think Jeremiah Colon might make the 53. I'm saying that right now. The versatility he has inside, in the interior, I really like what I saw out of Cologne because he can play center. He can play both guard spots. And that's important because right now the Rams only have 2 centers that are likely going to make this team. And quite honestly, it's Brian Allen and it is Coleman Shelton, who looks like he's going to be the right guard, So I just think that when you look at that, Cologne, the best ability is availability, but on top of that, versatility would be number 2. And Cologne has both. So this guy is stuck around through thick and thin. Jeremiah Cologne, you cannot get rid of him. The Rams just can't get rid of him. He keeps coming back. I think he makes the team. I think he's going to surprise people. He's going to make the team. Damn, is that a bruise? Look at that. Holy hell. I break my arm? I just realized. I'm like, dude, that's brutal. I didn't get hit by a pitch. The hell is going on? It doesn't feel bad. Yeah, it kind of feels. Yeah, that's messed up. How do you bruise like that? What do I do daily that I don't know. I just saw it. Don't blame me. It's like I saw it in the camera. I'm like, what the hell is that, bro? I thought it was like a blemish on like my my lens. I was like a little worried there. So let's go over some of the PFF grades. The PFF is not the Bible. Okay? It's not. But it gives you a good, insight onto, I think it works really well when you look at the offensive line. And according to PFF, the best pass protector that we saw in preseason for the Rams, of course, to be fair, he only played 4 snaps, was Adrian Ely. But the real best was actually Chandler Brewer. Brewer played 35 snaps. He had 18 pass protecting snaps and 17 run blocking snaps. He played 35 snaps at left guard, had a 68.1 pass blocking grade. Asim Rose actually had, he only had 1 pass blocking grade, so I'm not going to make a big deal about that. Tremaine Ankrum was better in the run blocking department. He had 26 pass blocking snaps and 27 run blocking snaps. He played 53 snaps, played 27 snaps at left tackle, 26 at left guard. I think he has gotten better. I will say that. I think he's definitely gotten better. He has developed. But Cologne played all 45 of his snaps at center, and that is something that I care about here. Was pretty good as far as the blocking department. When you look at it, I mean, he was top 4, and he was top 2 in offensive line on the Rams. Bruss had, I've never seen a pass blocking grade this bad. Actually, Snyder and Bruss have the lowest pass blocking grade I've ever seen in the history of Pro Football Focus. Logan Bruss had a 7.6. To put that into terms that you might understand, Tremaine Ankrum in 26 pass blocking opportunities had a 57.5, and that's considered 7.6 for Bruss. So the good news is nowhere to go but up. Jack Snyder had a flat-out 0 pass blocking grade. Yikes. Oh, Bobby Evans played 30 snaps at right tackle. He gave up 3 hurries on the quarterback, 3 pressures. Arcuri gave up the most with 4 pressures on the day, playing 31 at right tackle. So they were split evenly. 3 pressures given up by Logan Bruss, 2 for Alaric Jackson, 1 for Snyder, 1 for Brewer, 1 for Cologne, 1 for Ankrum. The guys that did not give up any pressures, Adrian Ely. That's the only offensive lineman that didn't give up any pressures. So, that's what I will say there. Things could be better. Things hopefully will get better, but that's just not acceptable. And it goes back to what I was saying. Perkins was pressured 16 times, hurry 12, sack 3. The bottom line is you got to be able to keep him clean. But in regards to the snaps, Alaric Jackson had 30 at left tackle, Tremaine Ankrum at 27. At left guard, you had Chandler Brewer leading the way at 35 with Tremaine Ankrum at 26. At center, Jeremiah Cologne with 45, Jack Snyder with 16. At right guard, you had Logan Bruss at 46, Alaric Jackson at 15, and then right tackle, 31 for Arcuri and 30 for Bobby Evans. I think Bobby Evans is done. I don't think he makes the team. I really don't see, he's just regressing at this point. I don't see it getting any better. So yeah, I'm going to say that right now. I think Evans is done in my opinion. But that's just me. As far as the special teams went, Anthony Hines had an elite special teams grade, going back to what I was saying, on 12 snaps. Grant Haley was second on the team. Bryson Hopkins 3rd, Jacoby Durant 4th, Jake Gervais 5th, Daniel Isom 6th, Deron Lowe 7th, J-Ron McVay 8th, Adrian Ely 9th, and Jake Hummel 10th, tied with Whitley and Ankrum. For passing, Bryce Perkins had an elite run grade, the highest in the entire league in preseason. He had a total of 78.9, so he's around the top 15 of the league in passing, which is not bad. And for the running game, aside from Perkins, of course, Jake Funk had the highest grade, followed by Asim Rose, Trey Regis, and then Raymond Calais. And then when you look at receiving, Lance McCutcheon had an elite receiving grade, followed by Jake Funk, Bryson Hopkins, Austin Trammell, Landon Akers, and J.J. Koski. So those are the grades there. And then the defense, Michael Hoyt had the best grade for the defense, followed by Jake Hummel, Jake Gervais, Russ Yeast, Keir Thomas, Jonah Williams, J-Ron McVay, Darion Kendrick, Jacoby Durant, and T.J. Carter. So those were those guys. Best coverage grade was Jake Gervais in 19 snaps. Jake Hummel was second with 36 snaps, followed by Benton Whitley with 3, Hines with 9, Russ Yeast with 19. Best pass rushing grade, Hoyt, Jonah Williams, Keir Thomas, Benton Whitley, and Bobby Brown. And the best tackle grade was Jake Hummel and Russ Yeast. So that was the preseason for the Rams PFF grades in a nutshell. Let's go through. What are you guys saying right now? Hey, by the way, can we get a written up 53 projection? Yeah, so I will do another video on that, and then we'll probably get something going on the downtownrams.com website. When you get a chance, well, no rush. You're a busy guy. Yeah, I try to get everything done, but, you know. But, hey, we're in the whole thick of it now. I mean, you know, time is of the essence. It's now or never. Who is the most likely to get plucked out of the Rams practice squad? I would say Lance McCutcheon if he doesn't make the team, then Bryce Perkins, and then I'd say Jacob Hummel, or Jake Hummel, however you want to say it. Rose was legit. Vision and power didn't really see speed. What if we only roster 3 running backs, then keep LMC? Yeah, I wouldn't be against that, because you can use Atwell as a back. So I wouldn't be against that. Jake, do you see any trades happening from the Rams? Probably not until the trade deadline, but we'll see. I could see them trading for Robert Quinn or like another pass rusher, but that would be really it. Well, I mean, that's obvious. OBJ was listed in the top 100 for NFL, so it's not crazy. Jake, I was watching your YouTube shorts of your family watching the Super Bowl. I was wondering why that was the family Christmas tree up on February 13th. It's still up. It's just a tradition, I guess. We don't like light it and everything like now, but it's still in our living room. It's just, I don't know. We like the decor of it. It's different in New York, I guess. I don't know. Most people don't have it in New York, so that's not even a thing. We're just weird. But yeah, to answer your question, that's why. Yeah, Bruss had a rough go. He had some good moments, but mostly he struggled. What's up, Nolan? We are back. Pretty much. How do we feel about Logan Bruss? I was not impressed whatsoever. I felt bad for Perkins watching that whole game. Yeah, I really agree with you there. I mean, that was tough. That was hard to watch. I'm looking up the Alan Trammell thing. That was really tough to watch, but yeah, I agree there. He just had no time to throw, you know. It was not ideal. It's not saying anything. What's funny is Austin Trammell was, so Kenneth Arthur, who's a good dude, runs Turf Show Times. He wrote an article April 22nd of 2021. Austin Trammell could be the sleeper of the draft that's actually a sleeper. And yes, he fits the hell out of the Rams. Yeah, he really liked him. So I think it's funny a year later the Rams go out and get him. But he's really not super fast. Austin Trammell, he ran like a 4.6. But man, he looked good. He kind of reminded me of Amendola. So I couldn't find that on Google. There's got to be a database, like, are they related? Someone needs to make that. You could probably make a killing off that website. Just put some ads. There you go. There's your entrepreneurship. You know, the recommendation from yours truly. Also, how do we feel about Benny Sko? I'm not a fan, to be honest. I would rather have Tutu and or Lance. Well, I think Skoranek offers so much on special teams, and the hope is that he receives so much as far as just, surprising amounts of, reps in meaningful moments, that the hope is that he'll be a lot better next time he's put in those. Because typically, a 7th-round pick that is not going to get that much opportunity. And while he struggled, I think he'll be better at it next time. So, when's the rest of the top 100 coming out? I heard we have 3 Rams in the top 10. I don't know. I actually didn't even know it was out, and then all of a sudden they're on like 80s, and I'm like, what? They released so many. Should you go again Friday to the game? I mean, if you can, yeah. Why not? Takes the preseason for fans to see why McVay doesn't throw these rooks in the fire early. These boys got to put in work first. It's true. Sup, Alex? Did Chris Garrett play or even Russ Yeast? Russ Yeast played. Chris Garrett is out. He had an injury, and they're going to be cautious with that. So they weren't going to rush him. And I think it's a smart move, if I'm being real. But they weren't going to rush him for sure. The Kobe Durant mic'd up dropped. Oh, nice. After this first preseason game, who the best backup offensive lineman the Rams got? I gotta say, I still think Alaric Jackson, he didn't have the best game, but I still think he's the 6th man, if you will. But definitely don't rule out Jeremiah Colon. You can play both guard spots, and he played a good center. Played a really good job at center during this game. So, it looks like he's gotten better. Hey, Aaron Jones. Happy 3-month anniversary. How about that? Oh, man. I thought Sauce looked good. There were people complaining a little bit about him. I think there's always going to be that level, right? You're always going to get people complaining. Oh, well, this guy was drafted this early. He needs to be way better. And, little knocks on him in his game, but I thought Sauce was good. I mean, he didn't blow it up. He wasn't amazing by any stretch, but I wasn't expecting him to be, and he didn't play long enough to really show you that. So, yeah, I thought he was pretty solid. I mean, for the most part, he didn't allow anything. He had 11 coverage snaps, and he didn't allow anything in coverage, 0. So, I like that he had some alignment in the box, getting him some opportunities in different ways. But, yeah, I thought he was pretty solid. But the guy that really stood out to me, 2 guys, but a guy that really stood out to me was Tanzel Smart. See the development there? Former Ram looks a lot better. I gave him crap. We all did, back when he was with the Rams that last preseason, and they kept him over John Franklin Myers, ironically. But he looked really good. So I don't know, man. I think you have to feel good about that. If you're a Jets fan, which I'm sure some of you in here are, since we're talking both Rams and Jets. One thing I'll say, John Franklin Myers did not play, but Quinnen Williams did. So it kind of goes to show you, this coaching staff absolutely loves John Franklin Myers. They played, for the most part, they played all their starters except for John Franklin Myers. So, good looks there. They even played Jordan Whitehead as well as Quan Alexander. So, yeah, definitely some interesting things. Again, Gardner I thought played well, but he wasn't amazing by any stretch. He didn't play long enough to really be amazing. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. But Jabari Zuniga, if anybody is a Florida fan, they know who he is. Came out of the draft in 2020, was drafted by the Jets in the 3rd round. The hope was he was going to develop, and he really hasn't been that great. But this preseason game he looked really good, and so did Michael Clemens, the 4th round pick out of Texas A&M for the Jets this year. Really liked what I saw to him. Marcel Harris, the former 49er. So they had some good stuff going on for sure. But here's the thing, though. Joe Flacco is going to have to play. What do you guys think? Do you think they can win with Joe Flacco? I mean, I think the schedule's brutal. I'll be honest. I've told Jets fans I had them going 1-3 when I'm very high on Zach Wilson. I had them going 1-3. I think it's going to be a tough run. I really do. I mean, to start off the season with the Ravens, then go to Cleveland, then face the Bengals, and then go to Pittsburgh, that's brutal. You're playing the entire AFC North in the first 4 games of the season. And there's a good chance Flacco is literally going to be playing all 4 teams back to back to back to back. The hope is Zach Wilson comes back by week 5, maybe even sooner, but he's probably going to miss the first 4 games. If he misses the first 4 games, does Flacco... If Flacco can win one of those games, I think the Jets are in business. Because, like I said, even with Zach Wilson, I had them just beating the Browns. That's it. But just because the Browns are probably not going to have Deshaun Watson doesn't mean they aren't a good football team. They got a lot of talent on that team. The Ravens are out for blood. They're pissed off from last year. I mean, you saw it against the Rams. That team could still play. Despite the fact they had all those injuries, that team was playing balls to the wall. So you'd have to imagine... the Ravens. It's going to be cool, Joe Flacco playing his old team, week 1. The Bengals game is going to be brutal because you have Burrow, you have Chase, you have Higgins, you have Jesse Bates on the other side, Trey Hendrickson. A lot of, stars there. And then the Steelers game. I think people are sleeping on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've said it over and over again. Look, Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky, I think either or can win games. So... I'm not out on Pittsburgh at all, and I think their defense is really good. They have a ton of weapons. You saw what Pickens did. So, I think Flacco is going to have... It's a gauntlet. You have to play those teams, and then you got the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins are that great. I really don't. I think Tua holds them back. I think you can beat the Dolphins. But then you have the Packers. And the Jets have played well against the Packers for whatever reason in their history. But they're going to Green Bay. And it's in October, mid-October. So, I mean, I'm not saying there will be snow, but I'm not saying there won't. That's going to be brutal. And then you have, at Denver. Then you have New England, Buffalo, at New England, the Bears game, at Minnesota, at Buffalo, Lions, Jaguars, at Seattle, at Dolphins. It's not an easy schedule. So the hope is that Flacco can win one of those 3 games. Maybe if he wins 2, I think the Jets are really in business. If they go 2-2, like you're saying, Tay, that would be pretty big there. I think that would be huge for Flacco. That would be huge for the Jets. I mean, the Jets have a really nice-looking roster when Wilson's healthy. Because you have Wilson, you have Breece Hall, Michael Carter, you have Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson. You also have Braxton Berrios, who they really like. You have Tyler Conklin, C.J. Uzama, and Jeremy Ruckert. Now it's official. Dwayne Brown's moving to the left side, so you have him. You have Laken Tomlinson, former Pro Bowler. Last time he played with Mike LaFleur, who is the current offensive coordinator. You have Connor McGovern, who's a top 10 center in the league. You have Elijah Vera Tucker, former first-round pick. You have George Fant moving over to right tackle. He only allowed 1 sack the entire year last year. Was huge for them. On the defensive side, you have Carl Lawson, you have John Franklin Myers, you got Jacob Martin, you got Vinnie Curry, Nathan Shepard, Quinnen Williams, Solomon Thomas, Sheldon Rankins, Tanzel Smart the way he's playing. You have a rookie first-round pick, Jermaine Johnson. You have Marcel Harris. You have C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, Quan Alexander, Jamian Sherwood, DQ Thomas. On top of that, you have Sauce Gardner. You have DJ Reed. You have Brandon Eccles. He played very well last year. You have Michael Carter II. You have Bryce Hall. So they're really loaded in the secondary. You also have Jordan Whitehead, Ashton Davis, LaMarcus Joyner, and Jason Pinnock. So I really like the way this team looks. Looks like Greg Zuerlein has completely won the kicking job, which is good. He's a lot better than Pinheiro. And Brandon Mann's a solid punter. They got a good returner in Braxton Berrios. I think this is a good team on paper. But, without Zach Wilson, they're going to be tested. And Flacco's going to have to step up. I mean, it's that simple. So, we'll see. But, I mean, the weird thing is Joe Flacco hasn't been that bad playing for the Jets. He's 0-5 because, he's 0-5. But last year, he threw 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he had 338 yards. He played one full start against Miami. They lost 24-17. He threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a 61.5 completion percentage, 24-39 for 291 yards, 101.6 passer rating, was sacked twice. That is going to be a problem. Not having Wilson, you don't have the mobility. Now you have Flacco. Flacco is not mobile. That's a big issue, okay? He's going to be like a statue in the pocket. But, you did have that Bills. He threw 3 passes, threw a touchdown, 47 yards, had a perfect passer rating. So last year, even though he's 37 years old, he just turned 37 this year, Flacco didn't look that bad. And the Jets have said they believe that he could start on other teams in this league. So they believe he's a starting caliber player as their backup. And the former 18th overall pick in 2008 by the Baltimore Ravens will have an opportunity to go up against the Ravens. So interesting there. I think he can win. I'm not as high on him as some other Jets fans. They're very high on him. They believe, he can do it. And that's why they're like, well, if Wilson goes down, at least we have Flacco. This, I think, really puts to bed, folks, anyone that thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is going to the Jets, he's not going to the Jets. Okay? He's not going to the Jets. Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to the Jets. They're fine with Flacco. They don't need Garoppolo. They don't. And they absolutely don't need to trade for Garoppolo. But let's catch back up here. When Kendrick jumped that route and played all those snaps, I could tell he's going to be a dog. Yeah, I thought he had that. Always great to see the kids win. Steelers look pretty good, or Seahawks played terrible. I'm going to go with both. I thought the Steelers looked really good. I thought Pickett with 2 touchdowns looked good. Even Mason Rudolph threw a nice pass to Pickens in the back of the end zone. Get Flacco up on the VR. At the end of the day, this was a lot of guys' first time under the bright lights, so expect them to play perfect, not be a bundle of nerves is ridiculous. I expect them to show up better this week. I agree. Definitely agree. T. Smart is a former Ram, so of course he will look good playing next to AD for a couple of years. You got to learn something. After third preseason game, Rams may try to trade for an edge rusher for the 40 looks. We'll see. I don't really think they need one. They won't know until probably mid-season, which is when the trade deadline is. So I don't think they're in any hurry to acquire anybody like that. Rams need to bring McCutcheon into the wide receiver mix next season. Yeah, we'll see. They got to keep him around. Otherwise, it's going to be like Tristan Jackson, a guy that had some decent potential, and now he's with the Vikings. Watson looked like Uncle Rico out there. Yeah, he looked awful, and I was not okay. I was totally okay with it. Flacco can win. He's experienced and is still on the roster. Joe Flacco should be motivated to show his best against his former team, so I'll put money on Cool Joe. That would be really cool if they upset the Ravens. To open up the year, if they upset the Ravens, that would be something. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting the Jets to be competitive, but I don't know how they're going to stop Lamar Jackson. Jake, with Akers and Hendo injury concerns, do we bring in another back like we did last year, or do we roll with the depth we have? Yeah, I don't think they're going to grab anybody. I don't think they value the position enough. I think they like Henderson and Akers. They already changed the depth chart to make it so they're co-starters, Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers. You go out and you get Kyron Williams, who we still have not seen in preseason. We'll probably see him this week or next week. I think they feel fine. Plus, they like Jake Funk a lot more than most of us, I think. They're really high in Funk, I believe. So that's what I'll say about that. Jabari Zuniga reminded me of Ja'Kai Polite, how bad the previous Jets regime was. I know. And Polite had a good preseason. I don't know why the Rams didn't keep him back in the day, but that's neither here nor there. It's becoming a little annoying how the Chargers keep pilfering the Rams players and coaching personnel. Oh, yeah. No, I hear you. That has to be somewhat annoying, for sure. I don't remember the last time I've seen Flacco on the field. I remember last year he played pretty well against the Dolphins. Like I say, he threw 2 touchdowns, had a 101.6 passer rating. He had a 62-yard pass. So, I mean, the guy still has it. I mean, the problem is, the thing that hurt Flacco that no one talks about is he had a PCL, MCL, ACL injury. Remember when the offensive lineman stepped on his foot against the Rams? So he got that against the Rams. That was the game where Case Keenum got concussed in midfield, and they literally tried him back out there even though he was seeing double vision. But also, Joe Flacco had a back issue. And if you have watched the show a lot, then you know how I feel about back issues, back injuries with football players. Look at Robert Quinn. It took him a long time to get back to where he was. So don't mess with the back injury. They're legit. They're a pain in the ass. They can really haunt you. I'm glad Flacco's still playing. Good for him. I actually really liked him at one point. And now I'm gonna watch him against the Ravens. That game is gonna be very interesting because that will tell a lot. If Flacco steps up there and he wins that game against Baltimore, that's not early season jitters. No. No excuses to be made. The Ravens are 7-point favorites on the road. If the Jets win that with Flacco, that's a major upset worth celebrating and starting to feel good about. Because then week 2, you're going up against the Browns. I think that's the most winnable game of those first 4. But it's still on the road, so we'll see. Want to see more of Rose and Ragus. Henderson and Akers are injury prone. Rose sees the holes can cut real nice, reminiscent of Marshall Faulk. I won't go that crazy, but I like Rose too. Jake, do the Colts have a stacked defense and aren't getting talked about enough? Just check the defense. They're loaded at every level with big names. Yeah, the Colts are one of those teams, man, that I just don't think people are talking about at all. And it's really weird. They ought to be doing that because the reason Matt Ryan wasn't having more success, I can tell you, is because he had no offensive line. So now he comes to the Colts here, and you're talking about having Pryor, Nelson, Raymond might be in the argument there. You have Kelly, and then you have Braden Smith. I do like their offensive line, and then on top of that, their weapons. They have Jonathan Taylor, they have Nyheim Hines, they have Michael Pittman, they have Alec Pierce, my guy. They have Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson, they have Jelani Woods. They have Paris Campbell, who they're very high on. And then the defense, Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Yannick Ngakoue, Bobby Okereke, Shaq Leonard, Zaire Franklin. I didn't even mention, and he's not even on here, but what's his face? Oh, he changed his name to Shaq Leonard. That's why. Darius Leonard is now Shaquille Leonard. So that's funny. Zaire Franklin, Kenny Moore, Nick Cross, Julian Blackman, and Stephon Gilmore with Isaiah Rodgers, Rodney McLeod, and they got a lot of depth. They got a lot of talent. I'm a big fan of what they did. A big fan of what they did, and it's a credit to, I think Chris Ballard did a great job putting this team together. Don't sleep on this team. Don't do it. Don't sleep on the Colts. I think they win the division. Glad you brought them up. I can't wait for regular season. Oh, me either. Also, haven't mentioned it once in this, surprisingly, but be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell icon to never miss another JE Live video. Lance over Ben all day. Ben is just good for blocking, but Lance is a big body. I'm sure he can block too. He can actually catch, not like Ben. To be fair, Ben Skoranek has played in NFL games, regular season that matter. Let's temper our expectations a little bit with McCutcheon. I'm a big fan. Love what he's doing, But there's a reason why Skoranek didn't play. And the Rams are very high on him. You know, so I just let things play out. If, you know, obviously you want McCutcheon to make the roster. He's not going to make it over Skoranek. They're not going to cut any of their guys. It's a matter of if they're going to keep 8 receivers, classify Jacob Harris as a tight end, so feels less, you know. But if they keep 8 receivers, then yeah. If they don't, then McCutcheon's probably going to be gone. Let's be real. If McCutcheon makes the roster, will he actually see snap in the season if his progression is going up? Probably not, unless there's a serious injury or something. Keep in mind, and I said this during the podcast, which you can check out after the show. It's on the channel, pinned. But look, if you are worried about McCutcheon getting picked up, you bring him onto the roster, right? So you just keep him on the 53. But Jake, what about OBJ? Here's the thing. You're more likely to lose McCutcheon because of recency bias, all eyes being on him, his preseason production, than you are later on in the year. After he's been on the roster, he's done nothing because he's probably not going to dress. They're probably not going to dress McCutcheon if he makes the team. He'll probably be inactive, at least for the first year. So think about this. You keep McCutcheon until mid-season when OBJ comes back. OBJ signs back with the Rams. He comes back. They waive McCutcheon. He passes through waivers and goes on the practice squad. Why? Because no one is thinking mid-season about what he did week 1 of the preseason. Am I wrong? No one is going to be thinking that. That's how you're going to get McCutcheon back. That's how you're going to keep him around. As long as he clears waivers, you don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, he's nice right now, but it's just preseason exactly. If I'm the Saints, Giants, Dolphins, Texans, Seattle, or even the Colts, I'm looking at Jimmy G. All teams I'm concerned with at quarterback. The problem is, I just don't think Jimmy G is that good, and I think teams also don't think that either. The Falcons, man, if it gets to the point, and I don't know why I thought you said the Falcons, but I guess it's not in there. If it gets to the point where Mariota isn't the guy, I think they'd roll with Ritter. They're not a team that's competing for a Super Bowl this year. I think they'd roll with Ritter. And Ritter's shown some stuff in the first preseason game that I really liked. So we'll see. The Dolphins with Tua, I mean, Bridgewater's out there. I still wouldn't rule out Bridgewater being the starter by the end of the year. Texans, I think they really like Davis Mills. And they should. I think Mills is better than Garoppolo. If you want my honest opinion, Garoppolo's more seasoned. He's more of a veteran. But Mills offers more. Like, he's more interesting. Can actually operate in the pocket, make, different reads and things like that, has some mobility, some underrated mobility. I think he's better than Garoppolo is right now. Seattle, I don't know why they can't just trot out Drew Lock and see what happens. You know what's not being talked about in regards to Seattle? Drew Lock played well against Pittsburgh. When he had no pressure, when he had a clean pocket, Drew Lock was really good. And when he didn't, Drew Lock in total, 11 of 15, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. 131.1 passer rating. I'm not saying the Steelers played every single starter or anything like that. That's still good. They still played Miles Jack. They still played Levi Wallace, Terrell Edmonds. They still played those guys. Akello Witherspoon played. Like, the Steelers still played some solid contributors on the defense. Cam Sutton. But I thought Drew Lock looked really good and no one talked about it. He threw a touchdown to DJ Dallas and threw a touchdown to Derek Young, who's an intriguing option to make the 53. Now let's talk really quick. What the hell was that trade today? What the hell was that trade? The Eagles are getting Ugo Amadi, and I like that for them because it offers depth for their back end of their secondary. Whether you're going to play Amadi as a slot corner, you're going to play him in the safety role, he's making the team. Right now, Marcus Epps is your starting safety on the depth chart. You also have Jaquiski Tart. You have Anthony Harris. So I think Ugo Amadi literally becomes a starter, potentially, for the Eagles as the season moves on, as he gets a hang of the defense. But this going out and getting J-Jaw made no sense to me. Like, Seattle going out and getting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside made 0 sense to me. 0. This guy can't catch. Why are you getting a receiver that can't catch the football? That's not a change of scenery. The guy can't catch the football. That's not a change of scenery fixture. That's literally like, dude, what the hell? So you're telling me you have Tyler Lockett, you have DK Metcalf, Freddie Swain, you got Bo Melton, you got D. Eskridge, Penny Hart. So these guys, Marquis Goodwin, Derek Young playing the way he just did in preseason, and you go out and you get J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? Why would you do that? Well, Jake, he also transferred to tight end, so he's a wide receiver / tight end. Dude, I don't give a damn. They have Noah Fant, they have Will Dissly, they have Colby Parkinson. Parkinson was a 4th-round pick, I believe. Dissly's been good when healthy, and Noah Fant is Noah Fant. Stupid. Why do that? He might not even make the team. But now that you've made that trade, now you have to have him make the team. And who are you cutting? I mean, lock up Lockett, Metcalf, and Swain. Top 3. You're not cutting your 2nd-round pick in D. Eskridge. So there's your 4 locks. Right? So you're not cutting those guys. So then you have Marquis Goodwin. I don't know if you want to cut that speed. Then you have Bo Melton. I'm sorry. I like Bo Melton. I liked him in the draft. I think he slept on because he played at Rutgers. He was a 7th-round pick. But I really like him. Really good route runner. Good after the catch. He fits what they like. Those should be your 6 receivers. If you're keeping 7, now you have to keep J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So you traded a potential starting safety. And I understand you don't need a starting safety. I understand that. You have Quandre Diggs. You spent all that money or all that capital on Jamal Adams and money. You have Ryan Neal. I get it, right? Josh Jones, Ryan Neal, Quandre Diggs, Jamal Adams. You have Marquise Blair. You have Bubba Bolden, who might make the team. I get that. But why did you trade Amadi for freaking J.J. Arcega-Whiteside? Like, I don't get that. Derek Young from Lenore-Rhine is a 7th-round pick that uses his body well at 6'2", 224. He might not make the team now. And Penny Hart might not make the team. And Hart played last year. He didn't play a ton. He only had 7 catches for 59 yards, but he played last year. So I don't get this. I think it was a stupid trade by Seattle. Kind of a bizarre trade, if you ask me. And good for the Eagles. They got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside gone, so that era is ended. Soon we'll probably see Rager get traded. But Arcega-Whiteside is gone. So now they can look at, okay, we get Amadi. Amadi's going to help out our defense. Seattle, they didn't help themselves out at all. I understand if you think that Amadi wasn't going to make the team, but if you traded Amadi for nothing, then what the hell was the point? So, Watson looked horrible on the field. Do you think he's not the same quarterback anymore? Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but he's probably going to get suspended a whole season, so that would be 2 seasons sitting out. So, I don't know. Eventually, that does hit you as a player. I see why you like the Jets. They have a lot of former Rams on their team. Smart, JFM, LaMarcus Joyner, and Greg the Leg. The Jets are the Rams East. Van Jefferson isn't ready. OBJ isn't back, which leaves A-Rob, Kupp, so we need a wide receiver 3. Tutu is still a question. Ben is bad at catching. Lance took his chance and ran with it. That's true, but keep in mind, Lance played in the preseason. We haven't seen him in the regular season like we have with Ben Skoranek, so we'll see. We'll definitely have to check on that, but I'm rooting for Lance. I like him, but we'll see about that. I mean, if my options are Flacco versus a trade for, say, Garoppolo or Rudolph, I'll take Flacco all day. Besides, hopefully Wilson will be back in 3 to 4 week window anyways, so don't waste picks. Exactly. And I don't even think that's, I totally butchered that, but I don't really care. It's correct. It's the actual approach. It's the right approach, Alex. You don't trade away multiple picks so you can get 4 weeks of Jimmy Garoppolo. He now has to learn the offense right before the season. It's just not enough time to be worth it. I know he had experience with Mike LaFleur, and that's where the whole point of it comes from. Well, why trade away assets when he's not going to be a starter? Like, Zach Wilson's the guy. And, you know, Rudolph, oh my God, I would be so mad. I'd rather have Mike White. Doesn't matter if Lance is a wide receiver 1, he'll make a solid wide receiver 3, and that's all what we need for now. It's going to be a rotational basis, plus what I think that people are forgetting is Sean McVay really is giving Brandon Powell a shot to play wide receiver in this offense. That is what is not being talked about nearly enough. He is getting a shot, and he's looked good according to McVay. So don't forget, Powell is very much in the thick of this. What's up, Brett? Oh my God, they were so much fun. I was hitting the crap out of the ball. It made no sense. I haven't swung a bat in like 3 years. I mean, I got blisters galore all over my hands, and I mean, I don't know where this came from. I really don't. This bruise, it did not. I didn't get hit by a ball or anything, so I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I missed hitting the baseball. You see, like that. I don't know why it's not zooming in, but yeah, I got blisters all over my fingers and stuff. But I haven't swung a bat in like 3 years in a cage, and to hit that well, I was pretty surprised. I think I dented the pitch back. Hey, I mean, your boy used to be a singles doubles hitter, right? Like, I mean, I wasn't a home run hitter, obviously. How would you look at me and think I was a home run hitter? But I was the guy I'd beat out an infield single. I'd steal bases. You know, I'd hit in the gap. I'd hit up the middle. I always hit it up the middle, it felt like. It was like, always did that, and then, you know, I'd get stuff picked off, and, you know, guy makes a nice play at second or short. It's like, ugh. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, really glad I was able to do that. My uncle was throwing me BP, and man, I miss those days, you know. That was my sport. I know more about football. I do more about football, but man, I would be lying to you if I said I didn't miss playing baseball, because that was my sport. Giants probably looking into the Jimmy G trade. Maybe. I don't know. Tyrod Taylor as the backup, I think, is good, and Daniel Jones will be fine. I think it's just they're working on some stuff in the offseason, or they're working on some stuff in training camp. They're experimenting. It's a new offense. It's, you know, his third new offense. Think about Sam Bradford, guy had like 5 different offenses. You know, eventually, hopefully this is the last one he has to learn. Here we go again with literally everyone downing the Rams for them to make the Super Bowl. Sounds legit. I like Tristan Jackson too. Yeah, he kind of had an underrated preseason last year. We need to see Kyren Williams get some snaps. Facts. Between the two teams you cover, which team isn't getting a lot of coverage could turn out to have a solid season first half? Besides the two teams you cover. Okay, I saw between. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a lot of coverage being had about the Colts. I would also say the Lions. I mean, you know, I know there's a lot of Discord members. By the way, we'll add that right now. 1 second. And well, that's not it. Let's see. Does it do it now? Yeah, so feel free to join the Discord. We're at 445 members, and I just pinned it. So that's the Discord link. But there's a lot of Lions fans in our Discord, and I'm not just saying this to appease them, but I think the Lions are interesting here. We already know where my thoughts are on the Vikings. If you've been following this channel, you've been following the show, you've been following me, I'm very high on the Vikings. I think Kevin O'Connell's going to have that team thriving. But the Lions are intriguing. I think Goff is good. He's not great. He's not amazing, but he's good. And he's got good enough weapons for him to continue to be good. You have DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, and you have Justin Jackson. By the way, the Justin Jackson pickup, why is no one talking about that? Why is no one talking about that? The Justin Jackson pickup is huge. I don't know why people aren't talking about that. On top of Craig Reynolds, their running backs are damn good. So they have Goff, 4 good running backs. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have Josh Reynolds. They have DJ Chark. They have Quintez Cephas. They have Jamison Williams and Khalif Raymond. Really good wide receiver group. Then you have TJ Hawkinson. Really like him. They had James Mitchell. Devin Funchess caught a touchdown. He looked pretty good. he looked pretty good moving to tight end. So I liked what I saw out of him. A left, this offensive line from left to right, you have Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Frank Ragnow, you have Halapuli Vaitai, and Penei Sewell. Really like the way that looks. Very good looking stuff there. And then their defense, you got Romeo Aquara, Charles Harris, Austin Bryant. You got Eric Banks, formerly with the Rams. I'd like to get him back. I really liked him. Aleem McNeil, Isaiah Buggs, Michael Brockers, Levi and Wuzariki. You got Aiden Hutchinson, Julian Aquara. You got James Houston, Josh Paschal. You got Derek Barnes, Alex Anzalone, Chris Board, Sean Dion Hamilton, Malcolm Rodriguez. Don't sleep on his, coverage ability. You got Amani Oruwariye, AJ Parker, Will Harris, Jeff Okuda, Mike Hughes, Juju Hughes. You got Kirby Joseph, who they like a lot. You got Afadu Melifonwu moving over to safety, Deshaun Elliott, and Tracy Walker III. This is a good roster, okay? It's a good roster. Not being talked about enough. So, if you're looking for a team that doesn't have a ton of coverage, the Lions are a team to look out for. And I'll give you an AFC one aside from the Colts, since I already gave you the Colts. In the AFC, I think it's Pittsburgh. I think it's Pittsburgh. When you go through that roster, there's some question marks, but, the defense is looking really good. So, the offense, they have plenty of weapons. Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to say Mason Rudolph. I don't get him playing over Pickett. He won't. So, Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. Then you have Najee Harris, okay? Anthony McFarland is the guy that I'm not sleeping on. Then you have Deontay Johnson, Calvin Austin, Chase Claypool, Miles Boykin, George Pickens, Anthony Miller, and, I really like the way that Steven Sims is playing in preseason. Then you have Pat Freiermuth, okay? Then you have Derek Watt at fullback. They use a fullback. They like him. He's probably one of the better fullbacks in the league. Then their offensive line is Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and Chuck Okorafor. I don't love Chuck Okorafor, okay? And I like Kendrick Green as their sixth man. Hopefully he'll, take a next step this year. But I really like Dotson from Louisiana, Lafayette. I really like them going out and getting James Daniels. I like the addition of Mason Cole. And Dan Moore, he's not the sexiest option at left tackle, but I like him. So all in all, this offense is pretty good. Then you look at the defense. You got Larry Ogunjobi, Chris Wormley, DeMarvin Leal. Then you have Tyson Alu, Montravius Adams. You got Cameron Hayward, Isaiah Loudermilk, and Khalil Davis. Then you have TJ Watt. You have Jannard Avery, Hamilcar Rashid, Devin Bush. You got Spillane. You got Miles Jack. You got Marcus Allen going over from safety to linebacker. Buddy Johnson, a guy they drafted they like a lot. Alex Highsmith, Derek Tuska. They got Levi Wallace, Cam Sutton. They have James Pierre. They have Akello Witherspoon, Arthur Maule. They still have Justin Lane. We'll see if he makes the roster. Chris Steele's an interesting one from USC. Minka Fitzpatrick, Trey Norwood, Terrell Edmonds, Devontae Casey, Carl Joseph, Miles Killebrew. It's a good team. Those are the two guys you remembered from the draft. Loudermilk. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll just say right now, I think the Steelers and the Lions are two teams to look out for that aren't getting enough coverage. Team that is in the running to be the worst team in the league is the Bears. I think the Bears are the worst team in football. I really do. I don't think they have the worst roster, but I do think that the wide receivers are going to kill them. I think the direction they're going in is scary. And if they do have to trade and move on from Roquan Smith, it's not going to get any better. Jake, not trying to be negative, but what did I tell you about Cam? He's soft as hell. Gets hurt and gets injured too much. It's a shame for him and Hendo. So I keep seeing people saying injuries, right? Keep talking about injuries like you just mentioned. Did somebody get hurt that I'm totally blanking on? Did I just not notice something? Did something happen today? Because, I keep hearing about that. Oh, they're both dealing with soft tissue injuries. Okay, I missed that. Per Sean McVay, who wants to hold them out until both of them are able to go at full speed, 100% with no restrictions. I'm not overly concerned. It's something to monitor. I agree with Jordan Roderick. No surgery needed for Bobby Brown. He is allowed to rehab on site. That's good. He doesn't need surgery. Jacob Harris was back at practice. Brandon Powell. Leonard Floyd. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not really concerned. Really not concerned. So, I think Akers and Henderson, obviously, it's annoying that they're hurt, but there's plenty of time. But that's funny that I totally did not see that. Better nickname, Lance McCutcheon or LMC? I like them both. If you want to use them both interchangeably, I don't have any issue with that. The Rams-Raven game when Case was concussion, when did Jeff Fisher send him back out there knowing he was unstable? Everybody in the stadium can see that. I was at the game in 2015. Yeah, it was bad. Very bad lapse in judgment. Mariota. Are the Rams running back cursed because they are always hurt? Who knows? McCutcheon still got to get his weight up. That's true. I mean, honestly, if you're a wide receiver that low on the depth chart, you better be a damn good special teamer. If you're not making the squad. Facts. I will say McCutcheon is a good special teamer. So that's a good thing for him moving forward. You have to feel good about if you're a fan of McCutcheon is that he's a good special teamer. I saw it. He can block. He's got it all. But, I mean, he's got to play against actual competition. He played against backups. I love the guy. Loved what he did. And I am going to make a big deal about it in the moment, but I'm also going to understand that, So, if the Rams didn't bring in Miller and OBJ, do they make the NFL top 100 list? Do you think they are still valued at the same? No, I don't. I don't, actually. I think Vaughn needed that, and so did OBJ. So, it's a great question, but I don't think they make it. I agree with that, Nolan. Jake, what would your game plan be if you're a head coach of the Rams going into the season? What are you expecting out of the team? I would go more pass happy. I'd make sure that's a more pass happy approach. You're good enough to throw the ball whenever you want. This offensive line should be pretty damn good. And with the running backs, hard to rely on them. I would make this more of a pass happy approach. On the defensive side of the ball, I just keep doing what I'm doing. Playing that, using the star position, getting all different looks, getting different guys in there. I think that's what I would do. But, yeah, interesting question there. I wasn't really sure how to answer that, but I'm all for going pass happy this year. Like, I wouldn't mind if if Stafford is throwing as much as Tom Brady did. I think Joe Flacco is still an average quarterback. The last full season he had 3,141 yards, 18 touchdowns with a passer rating of 80.4. The Ravens finished second in their division with a 9-7 record. Interesting. Yeah, that's not bad at all, Carter. Damn, I didn't catch the trade. Yeah. Yeah, it was not very good. With the Roquan Smith trade request going, is my understanding he's his own agent. The NFL considers it tampering if the NFL teams talk to him, but do you think they will enforce mandatory agents? God, if they do that, that is a bad look. I saw that. Great chant. Love that. Later, GOAT. Have a good one. Yeah, I thought Dicker was really good. But I think Riley has it already locked up. Free Roquan. Good for you. I haven't rewatched it in a minute, but it's always a good rewatch because the ending is going to be great. Powell and the staff have chemistry in Detroit. I believe Powell will come in clutch. Yo, I seen this random tweet predicting the Rams would trade for Rudolph. I swear media people can't beat this board. So why is it every year, the Rams are trading for Kyle Rudolph? Why? Every year. Every year. Oh, you mean Mason Rudolph? That's terrible. But I've seen Kyle Rudolph, and I've seen Tyler Eifert, who I don't even think is in the league anymore. I mean, I'm just saying. If we really needed a wide receiver, would you consider making a trade for Marvin Jones from the Jags with his chemistry with Stafford? No, I think I would just roll with what is in store, what is in-house, but I do like Marvin Jones, and obviously that would be a really nice tandem. If it was like we're talking Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp are injured, I wouldn't rule out the Marvin Jones thing. But that trade would kind of feel similar to when the Rams went out and got Brandon Lloyd. I feel like it would be on that level. Like Marvin Jones could still be a 1,000-yard receiver with Stafford. Why do people think Garoppolo would be the Rams' backup quarterback? I don't even think he would beat out Perkins. Yeah, I don't get it either. Perkins and Wolford give them looks that Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't give them, so it doesn't make any sense. Once again, folks, be sure, if you haven't already, our Discord community. I'm going to drop the link again. I would say is 100% lock. I don't see them cutting him. Agreed with that. Yeah, it does look weird. They've done it before, but that's true. That was ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to say because I can't even think right now who's free agent. I always have to look it up, and then I don't feel like it's genuine. But I'll look it up just for the sake of answering this question. So, let's see. Free agents. Free agent tracker. There we go. Come on, Spotrac. Why does Spotrac like slow down everybody's computers? I've noticed that. Okay, let's go. All statuses available. I mean, I'm a little surprised D Ford is available. Jason Pierre-Paul, T.Y. Hilton, Larry Ogunjobi. I think Ogunjobi was picked up, so I don't know why he's there. Yeah, I would probably say D Ford is the most surprising. D Ford's the most surprising based on what I'm seeing here. Maybe Chris Harris. I mean, D Ford is 31. Yeah, I find that a little surprising. For anybody asking, because I get it a lot, would the Rams go out and get a veteran running back? Here are the veteran running backs. Okay. Alex Collins, Chris Carson retired. I believe David Johnson is a free agent. Yeah, he's a free agent. He's not on the Texans. So, Kalen Ballage would be interesting. Buddy Howell, I'm surprised the Rams didn't bring back because he's a really good special teamer. I mean, Le'Veon Bell's 30. He's out there. Former Ram Matt Colburn is out there. I know he signed a deal, but yeah, I mean, Kalen Ballage, if I had to sign any any free agent out there, veteran free agent, if gun to my head, if I had to sign anybody, I'm looking at somebody like Kalen Ballage, because I think Kalen Ballage in the Rams Rams offense would be something. I actually really do like Malcolm Brown. Still, guy's only 29 years old. Carlos Hyde is intriguing. Jalen Richard, if you're looking for some pass catching help out of the backfield. Alex Collins is still interesting at 27 years old. But yeah, those would be my guys, I would say. I would go with Ballage. Yeah. But if they had to, my guess, it would be like a Latavius Murray, David Johnson, somebody like that. Devontae Booker, I could see. Carlos Hyde. Why do Florio and others crap on the Rams so much? I know they're knuckle draggers, but come on. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, really. Get those likes up at 78 people watching, but only 13 likes. Hit that like, thumbs up button, please, and thank you. Thank you, Tay-Tay. Appreciate you. We're at 42 likes. We got 73 people in here. Love that because it's literally the next day. So it's past midnight, and we got people in here. Fans throw around the word soft so casually. It's so true. Jake, go check your Twitter right now. Oh, Scott, I will. 1 second. Awesome. Hey, I appreciate the shout out, man. I'm so glad you got the PS5. God, we had to move mountains to get you that PS5. Because you won it, and then, I mean, you already know, but I'm just telling everybody else. So he won it, and we did the giveaway, and so I had already bought it and was sending it to him and everything, and then it got canceled. Like, they didn't tell me, oh yeah, it's like everything's fine, like we'll get you another one. No, they just canceled my order. So I was just like, screw it. We hit up StockX and got him that PS5. So I'm hype. I'm very, very hyped that you got that thing. Because, I mean, you won that like a year ago. We did the giveaway like a year ago. And he was so patient. I tried so hard to get... It is so hard to get a PS5, folks, at this point. If you're trying to get one, I would just get it on StockX. Pay the extra $100. It sucks, I know, but it is so hard to get a PS5, and I don't see it getting any better. There's just too many. It's too easy for scalpers to get them. So, should the Rams consider looking at any available offensive line free agents? It's not our MO, but there's some decent names out there: Eric Fisher, J.C. Treader, and Bobby Massey. Probably not. I don't think they'll look that route. Eric Fisher's intriguing, but that knee. Maybe you kick tires on him, but the knee, I don't know. And, I mean, he'd be a backup, so, are you going to pay him what he wants to be a backup? Can the Rams use Powell as a running back also? I'm sure they could. What a W. I think nagging injuries we constantly have at the running back position is why we've shifted philosophy to not rely on one back like we did with Gurley, and we'll commit more funds to wide receivers in the end. Exactly. It's a really dangerous position. It's a position you're constantly bashed, consistently you get hit. So it's like, I mean, why at this point would you, Everybody got to pump the brakes. Kyle Rudolph on the Saints now. I've seen Kyle and Mason for real. It's like, you people love Rudolph. I don't know what it is. Other teams giving wide receiver big money, they should just draft and find undrafted wide receiver. Yeah, after watching Lance play the way he did, I just was thinking, I'm like, these teams spent so much money on these receivers, and it's like, what if Lance McCutcheon's just as good as some of them? Just think about how much of a waste that is. Did you see on the TV broadcast the Chargers were LAC and the Rams were LA? LOL. Rams #1 in LA, baby. That's funny. What did I miss? We talked about Joe Flacco and if he can win games with the Jets, and we talked about Lance McCutcheon, and we talked about... I don't remember. We talked about a lot. Yeah. Someone will have to catch him up because I cannot even... It's one of those things that's like a whirlwind. It's over my head. It's been harder for me lately to make those micro content clips because when I try to make the clips, I go back and I'm like, man, I have to really go back into it and figure out what I was watching or what I was talking about and everything. It's not as simple as it sounds. Kyle Rudolph, to make up for the fact that we just narrowly missed out on him and ended up with Kendricks instead. Well, not that Kendricks was horrible, but obviously Rudolph was the much better player. The Rams are known for trading proven commodities, but the amount of talent they have, do you see them trading to acquire draft capital with some players they may not have cut or lose in free agency? So I could see them trying to trade away maybe a guy like Burgess since he was playing. I hope they don't. Love the guy, but I could see them doing that. I could see them trading away. I could see them trading away McCutcheon or Perkins if they feel like they really can't keep those guys. I could see that, you know. But the movie Parasite I've never watched. So I can't do subtitles for everything. There's some things I can, but I don't know what Belmont is though. Yeah, Balaj. Who'd the Niners cut today? Let me check. By the way, tomorrow the Rams have to cut everybody in the league. Actually, has to cut 5 players. So 5 players will be cut tomorrow. I think by 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not seeing anything on the 49ers cutting anyone. Oh, hold on a second. They cut Darqueze Dennard, and they waived Keyshawn Johnson, Tomasai Lawley, and Josh Hokett. The only one that is notable, in my opinion, besides Dennard is Keyshawn Johnson, but that's it. What if the Rams traded Wolford, kept Bryce as the backup to staff? That could be an option, but I think they love Wolford so much that I don't think they'll be doing that. The Rams are known for trading proven commodities, but with the amount of talent they have, do you see them trading to acquire draft capital? Oh, I think I already answered that. It's weird it didn't highlight it, but I definitely answered it. With Debo and Patterson from the Falcons being hybrid wide receiver running backs, is there someone on the Rams or even in the league you could see transitioning with the same success as the two mentioned? I mean, you got to have more bulk to your frame, so I don't know if anybody would be on that level, but I think Atwell could do it a little bit. Powell could do it a little bit, so, you know, I think those are probably the best options. Brick's got the like button. Yes, please. We are set at the tight end position with Higbee, Hopkins, and Blanton. We don't need a draft. We don't need another tight end. Higbee is a good and underrated tight end. He fits our team. Y'all know the deal here. All worth it in the end. My girlfriend and I enjoying as we speak. Love to hear that. So happy for you, man. Again, appreciate. At any point, Scott could have raised hell. He could have said that I was scamming him. He could have said, I'm never going to get this PS5. You know, am I or whatever. And, I mean, he just kept really patient. I kept trying to get it. And then at the end, I was like, you know what? He's waited so long. We're just going to pay the extra money on StockX and get it to him. So, I probably should have done it sooner, but again, the fact that he was so patient, I can't thank him enough because that was incredibly stressful. Giving away a PS5 and then like literally having the supplier cancel the freaking order. I mean, I don't even know. I think I got my money back, but I don't remember if I did or not. I think I did, but I don't know for sure. It was done really poorly. W giveaway. I've been seeing a lot of 2-2 hate. I don't get it. So have I. Have you predicted the NFC West team record before their bye? Yeah, so I had the Rams at 13-4, I believe. Rams at 13-4. The 49ers at 11-6, I believe, or 10-7. I had the Seahawks at 9-8 and the Cardinals at 8-9. That's what I had. So, do you think the Niners' increase in injuries is due to their style of football play? Seems like you can only be physically imposing for so long before it catches up to you. Maybe. I do think they all got really banged up playing at MetLife back-to-back games because MetLife is brutal. That turf is not good. But, yeah, I don't know. Good question, though. Let's see. What's up, Tronco? Do you think we will see another Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp season out of wide receiver soon in the league? I think the biggest chance I think we have this year, Joe, is Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's somebody to watch out for this year. Not guaranteed, but definitely somebody. See you later, Aaron. Appreciate you as always. Rams Twitter about trading for running back because of the injuries, but they should be reminded that the Rams are a pass-happy team whether you like it or not. Exactly. Oof. I don't envy you. What's your predictions on who gets cut tomorrow? Good question. Let me see here. I'm gonna bring up the roster. Let's see. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm expecting Regis to get cut. So Regis, because you're going to have Kyron Williams playing probably in Game 2 or Game 3, so you're going to cut Regis to make some room for him. Pinckney opens up the opportunity for Carter and Pettigrew to get more playing time. So those two. We'll go with... I think they'll keep the offensive line. Feels weird, kind of. Cutting an offensive lineman at this point feels weird. I think they'll keep the pass rushers, the defensive line. I think they'll cut Caesar Dancy Williams, Jaron McVay, so one more. And I'll say Duron Lowe. So those are your 5 cuts. So, in conclusion, Trey Regis, Jared Pinckney, Duron Lowe, Caesar Dancy Williams, and who else did I say? Jaron McVay. LMC going to the Hall of Fame after one preseason game. Darion Kendrick, yeah, I think he's a lock to make the team. I heard he's looked good. Yeah, I heard he's looked good in camp. I mean, I'm excited for Troy Hill. I always liked him, so. That's true. That is true. What are they saying? God, do I even want to know? Such a joke. There's this Yankee page, right? And so every time, every day, the Yankees, release their lineup 3 hours before game time. And this page makes like these fake lineups, but like, it's like, how old are you? Because the lineups aren't even like you're trying to pull one over on people. It's just like they're somewhat realistic. Like it's just a stupid thing to do. I feel like Nolan, if you're in here, I feel like you like the whole like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, congrats, like, real knee slapper there. You changed the lineup and you added Benintendi from like 6th in the order to 8th. It's just stupid. There's like this idiot that goes around making fake MLB lineups to, get people off balance. It's like, it's just dumb. Like, it's just really stupid. So I don't know. I was gonna look up NFL rums. They blocked me on my personal, so I'll go on DTR. I'm looking for it now. I'm trying to... I don't see anything. So apparently, TMZ confirmed, by the way, Aqib Talib didn't shoot the guy. By the way. That's funny. Yeah, that whole thing was really odd with Aqib Talib. I mean, really sad. Let's start off with that. But it doesn't appear that Aqib Talib shot anybody. Now, I'm not condoning him assaulting anybody either, but it looks like his brother is the suspect. He was arrested on the murder charge, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know what to think. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't see the video that was posted that should not have been posted. Doesn't show everything, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't even be out there. But, it's like, here's my thought process on this. Aqib Talib has been in the middle of some stuff in the past, right? We all know that. He's been in some sketchy stuff. But the thing that my issue with this is this was all blamed on Aqib Talib when, even the authorities don't believe he did it. They're arresting his brother. And, Aqib Talib, if he didn't shoot anybody, and I don't even know if he attacked anybody, but if he didn't shoot anybody, and it's as sad as this is not Talib's fault. Do you see what I'm saying? I think it's honestly malpractice to just assume, to just say Talib did it because he was the most popular guy at the venue if he actually didn't. And I'm not saying he didn't do it. We don't know. But there was so much misinformation exactly on social media, Nolan. I had an issue with that. I took a lot of issue with that because I felt like people were, that were there were acting like insiders, but then you found out they weren't really there, and Talib was the biggest name, and that would generate the most interest, the most headlines, and the one lady going, private because of it. The fact is this. If Talib did it, he deserves to be in prison. Period. But if he did it, why did his brother get arrested? Why was it like a foregone conclusion that his brother did it? Why were the authorities why are they not even looking at him as a suspect? I just think it's really messed up in today's society that there were people at the scene saying Talib did it when he didn't. If he really didn't do it, that's bad. I think that's really bad. And again, I really feel for, the family of the coach who was gunned down. That's awful. But I also think, you're blaming a guy for murder and you don't have proof. And you had all these people on Twitter saying he's a disgrace and he's a shameful human and apparently he lost his job. Apparently Amazon's done with him. I don't know how true that is. It's the worst covered event, I think, of the entire year. Because I have no idea what's going on. I've tried to look it up, and I have no idea. But the point still stands. Yep, guilty until proven innocent, unfortunately. It was trending, and yet, what did we learn from it? We learned nothing. It took so long for us to find out anything, and then what comes out is that Aqib Talib's brother did it. And he's turning himself in today. Or, now he's already arrested. So, is it because he looks like Aqib Talib? Is that the angle we're going with? Again, if Aqib Talib had anything to do with this, anything whatsoever, gave his brother the gun, shot the guy, attacked the guy, then, he should go to jail too. Not for murder, but if he attacked him, if he was fighting him, then that's assault. But it just doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like Talib is guilty of anything. He was feet away from the shooter in fatal incident. And there are some people out there saying that the brother didn't even do it. They're saying there was another guy who was the gunman. Look, all I keep seeing, and I can't even talk, but all I keep seeing and all I keep thinking is that Aqib didn't do it. I honestly wonder if his brother did because we don't have the evidence. I have people on one hand saying it's like he said, she said. I have people on one hand saying the brother didn't do it. And they're just, they're trying to make it a big deal, make it actual, like a celebrity. But then I have another person saying the brother did do it. And it's just I don't know who did it, but in the video, and I wish I didn't see the video. It came up on my feed. I had no idea what it was. The video, Talib is not the one that looks to be holding the gun before it, drops. Because obviously you don't see the shooting. But it doesn't look like that's Aqib Talib. And the fact that people were like, Aqib Talib murdered somebody and they were able to post that, I understand freedom of speech and everything, but that's ridiculous to just come out and say, yeah, he murdered somebody. You know? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like I said, doesn't mean Aqib didn't do anything, but I don't think he murdered the coach. Yep, that seems like it. Because why would you want it to be accurate? No, I get what you're saying. I mean, you know, just look at the Johnny Depp trial. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't think there should be a pass regardless if you're, you know, regardless of your race, your gender, your orientation, whatever. I think people should be, when it comes to the court of, you know, public opinion, court of law, whatever, I don't think it should matter based on preconceived notions. What did you think about the big wit coming out and saying the NFL top 100 list is a joke? I thought that's kind of funny. I don't either. Albert Pujols was on steroids too, so his 700 homers are not legit either. What do you mean he was on steroids? I never once heard Albert Pujols was on steroids. Jack Clark accused him of PEDs. Clark went on a radio show and accused Pujols of taking steroids early in his career. Pujols denied those claims, and Clark was removed from his radio job. What a fruitcake. I know for a fact. I remember this. This was back in 2013. I know for a fact he was. Jack Clark. Wow. Yeah, he didn't take steroids. No way. Because the way his body is declining right now tells me he didn't take steroids. The way he did decline tells me he didn't take steroids. It's true. We need Albert Pujols to hit 700 home runs. He had 2 yesterday. I saw he has an OPS above 1 against left-handed pitching this year. The guy can still hit. Yeah, have you seen Albert Pujols in the month of August and the month of July? He's heating up right now. I was just talking about this to Tyler, Joe. Albert Pujols is really heating up, and you know everyone's talking about Aaron Judge, and rightfully so. I mean, I definitely don't mind when people talk about my favorite player, but you know Albert Pujols is going for a little deal of his own. I mean, he wants 700. This is his last year, you know, and I mean Albert Pujols. Let's look it up. I just saw it. It was earlier today. So Pujols on the Cardinals has really started to heat up. He's batting .249 for the year. He's got 10 home runs, 30 RBIs, a 785 OPS. But keep in mind what this means. So his splits, in April he hit .267, in May he hit .188, in June he hit .158, and then in July he hit .320, and in August he's hitting .368 with a 1.323 OPS. This guy needs 11 home runs, just 11, to hit 700 for his career. I hope he gets it. Sounds like him. Yeah, well, Judge is also like 270 pounds, 6'7". He doesn't do PEDs because no one has literally been built like him. 282, 6'7". Dude is like the same size is Aaron Donald, but he's 6 inches taller. That's fair. Yeah. How the story should have been released. Developing story as a man was murdered and Aqib Talib and possibly his brother are being looked at as possible suspects. Instead, we get Aqib murdered that guy. Sounds about right. And then everyone making their snap judgments. That's why I didn't tweet about it. Because you don't know. I'm not going to tweet something out, you know. Now his family that's on Twitter, anybody that's on Twitter that's related to him is just seeing that. That's how they're finding it out. Like, I don't like it. Yeah, 11 homers away. What do you think about Tatis Jr.'s excuse for PEDs was due to a fungus from a haircut? Absolutely ridiculous. Tatis cheated. He's gotta earn it. He's gotta wear it. He's gotta own it, and then he's gotta earn the trust back from people, his fans, his team. Because think about this: Starling Marte cheated. Don't forget, Starling Marte cheated. He missed half the season when he was with the Pirates. And he came back and he proved himself. He's been really good with the Mets this year. He's been really good since. And now Tatis has to show that it wasn't just the steroids. He is that good of a player. And unfortunately, when you take steroids and you're caught, well, everything starts to get in question. And early on in your career like that, makes you wonder if maybe last year steroids. Because the talk was it was just this year, but that's not what people are going to think. Exactly. You could like to post that, and not just the families of Talib, the family of the coach. Can you imagine being related to him, being on Twitter, and seeing a family member of yours get killed on like a video? That's how you find out? We got to do better. That's just not acceptable. That can't be acceptable. I don't care how good of our advancement technology is. Technology's scary, man. What's next? You guys ever see Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal? Is that what we're going to have? Are we going to have live streams of people like in the midst of getting murdered happen? I know it's already gone through the cracks. Facebook has no filter. They literally had, remember the mass shooter in Cleveland who was driving around neighborhoods shooting people? They literally allowed that to be on their platform. Facebook has no filter. But like my point is that you run the risk as time goes on. TMZ gets more powerful, technology gets more crazy, and now we have drones and stuff, and it is literally like a Black Mirror episode. I agree. Man. I don't know how the video can be up. I think the whole point is that there's no blood and they put the camera down when he's shooting, but that can't be acceptable. That can't in our society be acceptable. Nightcrawler was one of the best movies I've ever seen, but it's also scary, and it brings up a really good point about how dangerous technology and the advancement of media can be in the future and even nowadays. I was too, Steve. Very impressed. Didn't have a lot of time to throw. Broke like 5 tackles. Like the man was he was on a mission. I always try to, but you know how they have the autoplay on feature. I don't want the autoplay feature on my feed because I never know what's gonna come up. But anyway, you know, I get that shit, and yeah, it's not ideal. Oh, Nightcrawler is just awesome. Nick, I thought I made you a mod, so I don't know why you're not a mod. I've noticed that they've been taking away moderator from people. I don't know why, but I made you a mod, so you're good to go. Yeah, Nightcrawler was one of the best movies I've seen. Fantastic. Let's see here. So crazy. I posted a few clips from the preseason game. It blew up. Like the Bryce Perkins one got 53,000 views on TikTok. And now we have 236 followers on Downtown Rams. My personal TikTok is 542. We're trying to get monetized on there. But the Downtown Rams one was at like 110, I think, today. And it blew up. So if you aren't following on TikTok, you can follow me at JK Bogan. If you're not following Downtown Rams, Rams only content, you want to go do that at Downtown Rams. I blame Kang. Kang knew you would be too powerful in multiple timelines, so he tried to take away your powers. Yeah. At least they weren't that shitty. Let's go. Can Ernest Jones be our next great linebacker? I think so. Yeah, it gets bad, man. It gets bad on the feed. I mean, Twitter has like no. Do they have any filter? I don't think they have a filter. Twitter does not have a filter. Because if Twitter had a filter, I wouldn't see porn on my timeline. I wouldn't see death on my timeline. Twitter does not have a filter. That totally makes sense. Oh, is that who's downvoting all of my YouTube shorts? The TVA Niner fans? Would make sense. Man, I mean, even though you can't see the downvotes, I still get so many downvotes. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I get so many downvotes on my shorts. Like, I don't know why, but I do. Oh my God, the facts are flowing in. Yeah. So get this. 3 downvotes on Ernest Brown. I got 3 downvotes on our podcast. Who's downvoting the DTR podcast? Like, did we say anything that really pissed you off? Like, man. 1 downvote on Dan Isom. 3 downvotes on Bobby Brown. 1 downvote on AJ Rose's touchdown clip. 4 downvotes on Lance McCutcheon. 1 downvote on Bryce Perkins. 5 downvotes on my Zach Wilson dodges a bullet, may only miss 2 to 4 weeks. YouTube short. 10 downvotes on Zach Wilson injury reaction. I get so many downvotes. I want to see the highest likes to dislikes ratio, but there's no way to filter it, I guess. It's just weird. Like, do you have anything better to do? Like, people that downvote are weird. I don't know. People that downvote are just weird. Like, go on Reddit, like, everything gets downvoted. Even if it could be, like, God could come down from the heavens and say, this is the greatest Reddit post of all time, and if you downvote this, you are going straight to hell. And people would still downvote it. Looking forward to The Samaritan coming up on Amazon Prime end of this month. The Samaritan, that sounds familiar. What is that? Comes out August 26th. Who's in that? Oh, that's the one with Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. I gotta watch the Terminal List still, but probably. I know. I hate Instagram. Instagram did nothing. We lost our Instagram, our 10,000 follower Instagram, our Instagram where we actually helped book our guests, like Alexis used it. We lost Downtown Rams Instagram. We're not going to be able to get back. Instagram's a joke. Just like the metaverse, Facebook, all that. Mark Zuckerberg, it's just his way of getting everybody sucked into a virtual reality that isn't actual reality. and to kind of steer their attention away from what's going on in the real world. If anybody didn't know what the point of the metaverse was, that's literally the point. No one can tell me otherwise. Period. That's it. So I hate Instagram. I hate Facebook. I'm pretty much done with it. I pretty much am just using... I'll post on Instagram still. I'm trying to build the Downtown Rams Instagram back up, but it's such a hike. It's such a pain. So really, I've just been doing, TikTok. I've been doing YouTube, obviously. YouTube is growing, man. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I looked at the analytics, and throughout all of the lifetime of all the videos I've posted on here, I'm not kidding you, the highest peaks in the history of my channel, okay? First one was when Stafford was traded to the Rams, okay? Actually, the John Wolford video, which now no longer looks that good. But it was the John Wolford video, then it was the Stafford trade to the Rams, then it was the NFL Draft 2021, okay? Then it was the Super Bowl. Then it was the 2022 draft, and now it's the Rams' first preseason game. The Rams' first preseason game of 2022 generated more views on my channel than the freaking Super Bowl. We're growing, folks. We are growing. 14,245 subscribers. We're flying up the rungs now. We were at, let's see, August 11th, we were at 14,160. So we've almost gained 100 subscribers since August 11th. So we're flying up the rungs. Want to get to 15,000 before the season starts. That might be a little bit of a hike, but I love the way we're growing. Moving up the rungs, folks. Moving up the rungs. It's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, I've never watched it before, but I heard it's really good. Yeah, just wait until they come in last place after all this stuff they talked. IG falling off, forcing them unnecessary reels, pretty much. Isn't it crazy we live in a time where you see Cash Apps and OnlyFans links in females' bios on social media, but must be nice to earn easy money, IMO. Yeah. Damn impressive. Niner fans were... Thank you, Carter. Niner fans were so salty that I showed up to the game this weekend. They knew they couldn't say shit to me, and the few that did say it, far from cowards, LO stuck out like a sore thumb, too. Sounds about right. James about to make it out of the hood. The Rams keep up with success. More people become fans. More fans tune in. Gotta love it. Yeah, I mean, it's really it's a never-ending thing. Plus, now with the Jets community, too, joining the fray, I feel like we can only just go up, Not everybody is going to like the Jets content, just like not everyone's going to like the Rams content. Eventually, we'll get to that point. But, when I see things like 17,200 new viewers, that's good. I'm seeing new viewers, and I'm now seeing more subscribers. The watch time from subscribers, it's still always going to be higher. Non-subscribed people are always going to watch more videos, have more views than subscribe because, well, if you have that many views, then yeah, something has to give. But, I definitely like what I'm seeing. And plus, I like what I'm seeing? I like that I'm seeing the subscribers who turned on all notifications for your channel are at 903. So we're almost at 1,000 subscribers out of the, 14,000 plus that I have that have turned on notifications. That's huge. That is huge. So definitely hit the bell icon if you haven't already. You'll never miss another video. Which player would you cut on the 53 to add Randy Moss 2.0? Man, I don't even know. It would be a different position, I think. That'll be coming to you tomorrow, I think. Yeah, so I like the Jets. I'm a Rams fan, but I like the Jets. To call them a favorite team would be a disservice to how much I love the Rams. But I'm covering the Jets because I live in New York, and I wanted to cover a team in the AFC. And I wanted to cover a team that didn't have a outstanding history against the Rams, like a bad blood, rivalry, nothing like that. So that's why I chose the Jets. Because people were like, hey, Jake, you should cover the Chargers. I was like, nuh-uh, not doing that. Yeah, it's really bizarre, honestly. Those Niner fans grasping at straws, pretty much. Is A-Rob going to blow up this season? He is. I was in New Orleans last week. I remember you said you have high hopes for the Saints this year. Winston, healthy Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Kamara, good defense. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Olave, but they did get, Chris Olave there. I think I like Jameis Winston, so I'd like to see him do well. Wouldn't rule out the Saints at all. I think the Saints are going to be a good team, and I really like the direction they're going in, with Dennis Allen as their coach. Yeah, as you guys know, regardless of what happens with A-Rob, I've been all over that train. If you haven't got in, when I told you to get in, I think you still can. Caesars, on Caesars Sportsbook, go over to the app right now, put a $10 bet down if it is still plus 10,000. But it was plus 10,000 odds that Allen Robinson would lead the league in receiving. Plus 10,000. That's insane. Like, you realize how ridiculous that is, right? The amount of money that you can make if he, that's just ridiculous to me. Les definitely plotting. Makes sense. Thanks for answering. Yeah, Rams fans have no issue with the Jets. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. So I wanted to have something where, and I've actually had people reach out to me that like the Jets, and they've been like, man, I've been watching your content, and I'm not going to lie, you have me kind of gravitating towards the Rams as well. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I had the same thing from the Rams side. Be like, man, I got to say, I only really care about the Rams, but when you talk about anything, I'm interested. And so I've been watching your Jets videos, and they're pretty good. And now I care about the Jets a little bit. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I'm not trying to, pour propaganda on you to make you like the Jets, make you like the Rams, but it doesn't hurt if you do. Les Snead be like, oh, Jake wants to hit 15,000 subs. Let me just make another blockbuster trade real quick to boost them numbers. Yeah. Right? I mean, hey, it doesn't hurt. Does not hurt. I don't know why I just can't buy into Winston. I have more faith in Andy Dalton for some reason than I do in Winston. See, I like Winston. If he didn't get hurt, I think he would have had a really good year. I don't know, Jake. I'm still salty they beat us 2 years ago when they were winless. That's fair. Really irks me that we're going to have to let some quality players go that will go on to possibly be starters on other teams, possibly even our NFC competition. Your thoughts, Jake? Yeah, it's part of the problem is you're being a good team. You're getting better every year, and all of a sudden now it's harder to make the 53. It's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. I mean, it kind of sucks seeing Nick Scott, or not Nick Scott, J.R. Reed leave. It sucks seeing Juju Hughes leave. It sucks seeing Tristan Jackson leave. It'll suck seeing more people leave. But, what it really comes down to is that, you kind of have to make these decisions until the NFL figures out that, hey, 53 men roster doesn't make any sense. Plus, you can only dress, 47 of them for game day. Until they figure out how asinine that is, then it's going to stay this way, I don't know. Who cares about his statements? Who cares? Dude, you're done. It's sad, but, you brought it on yourself. What is Les Snead's deal going to get done? Why hasn't it gotten done as fast as McVay's? Good question. I'm not really sure. I'd imagine we'll probably hear about it at the end of preseason. Wait, have we done a top 5 or top 10 question tonight? LOL. Or how about a thoughts question? JK. You're funny. Nah, man. CG's cool. Oh, man. Sign me up for 63 players. I'd be a kid in a candy store. I would be a kid in a freaking candy store if that were the case. Y'all think Kyrie gets traded this season or he signs with LA next season? Probably next season. I think it really does look like Russell Westbrook is going to be the starting point guard for the Lakers. And that's my hope. But, we'll see. I think he'll be there a year, and then they'll probably transition over to Kyrie next year, and I've already kind of accepted that. Wow, we just hit 19 million impressions on the channel. That's freaking insane. That's insane. 19 million impressions. I'm just saying, just a kid from Clifton Park. The real question is, when is Goodell going to be done during being the commissioner? I don't know. I mean, I don't hate Goodell like some people do, so I'm not really sure, but that'll be something sure we'll find out soon. Who do you think on the coaching staff is up for promotion, either with the Rams or other NFL teams? Well, I think Thomas Brown is going to be the OC, because I think Liam Cohen is going to get a head coaching job at the end of the year. That's what I think, but that's who I will say. Probably trade him if they can get anything for him. I mean, you know my thoughts. If you've been following, you know my thoughts on Jerome Ford. So I actually like the Browns' backfield. I like, Kareem Hunt as a player. But, you got Nick Chubb, you got Dearness Johnson, and you got Jerome Ford. I mean, is there really any reason to keep Kareem Hunt and pay him? I don't think so. Oh, man. Katie is kind of wild for just trying to bail on the Nets. I don't know why people are rooting for him to get traded. I've never liked Kevin Durant, really. I think I liked him for a little bit, but he got really annoying really fast. Yeah, he was really bad. Is OBJ to the Rams still looking likely, even if the Rams plan to keep 8 receivers on the roster? Who would they get rid of to activate OBJ off IR when he's ready? I mean, it'd probably be McCutcheon, but, would it matter later on in the year? Would they lose McCutcheon? Probably not, So that's why I feel like they'd have to keep him. Very true. No, I would not. Because how much better is Kareem Hunt than Cam Akers? So I'm not giving up a pick. I'm not trading picks for, Also, the Rams just don't value running backs like that. So I wouldn't do that. Do you think this is Zeke's last year in Dallas if he doesn't play what he's getting paid? Could be. Definitely could be. I mean, he's not the best running back there. You guys know my thoughts on that. Tony Pollard's better. I've said that for a while. Love it. Love that. That's great. Another one. KD signed a contract last year and technically wasn't even playing on that contract when he requested the trade. Now he gets swept by Boston, and all of a sudden Boston is number 1 on his list. The dude is like a meme. He just likes going to teams that beat him. Literally, KD is the walking embodiment of, if you can't beat him, join him. So weird. It's true. Owners do love him. That revenue sharing definitely doesn't hurt. Yeah. We're now over the 2-hour mark for the stream. Nobody. McVay. How about this guy, OBJ, huh? I love him. Yeah, right? Guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up if you haven't. We're at 52 likes. Before I head on out of here, I'd like to get us to 60. It's only 8 more. So let's see if we can do that. We're at 61 viewers, 52 likes. Let's get it up to 60 likes. It would be cool. Hendo leaves after the season. Zeke gets released. It would be kind of cool to see Hendo reunite with Pollard in Dallas. I don't want Hendo to go anywhere, but yeah, I mean, that would be kind of cool. I have a feeling G. Pickens from Pittsburgh is going to be a menace to the NFL. Kind of feel that way as well. I got to disagree with you. I think the helmet looks good, and I like the uniforms a lot. OBJ commenting about Buffalo scaring me. Shake my head. I know that wide receiver spot is loaded, but damn, I liked Odell. I hear you. He's like my favorite player. Him and Stafford are my two favorites. So, yeah. Is that going to do it? That's true. Guys, make sure you join the Discord. Link is in the pinned comment in the description. You can go and check out my stuff over on the Call-In app if you want to check out more content. Be sure to check out our pinned podcast on my channel, Downtown Rams episode 457. Alexis and I break down the Rams-Chargers preseason game. And if you are on TikTok, so are we, Downtown Rams and myself included. If you're looking for more of a, I mean, right now, pretty much I just post about the Yankees on my personal. But if you are looking for just Rams content, I do Jets content on my personal as well. If you're looking for just Rams content, you can find that at Downtown Rams on TikTok. That, I believe, is going to do it. Let's see real quick here. Adam is a menace to the Browns fan base. He's going to ride Pickens and pick it all the way there. I know. He's awesome. I love the way he bullies the Browns. Why would OBJ go to Buffalo where Diggs complained about not getting the ball enough, which led to him traded to Buffalo when he could play with Kupp and A-Rob, who aren't selfish like that? Good question. I'm not really sure. I think it's more so about Von Miller, and I think it's more Von Miller than OBJ. I hope McCutcheon stays with the Rams. I hope so as well. Guys, again, really appreciate you for hanging out with me. It's 1:18 on the East Coast here, so I am out. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have more content. Hopefully it doesn't take 8 years to actually upload my stuff. But if it does, it does. Hopefully I'll have something for you. Maybe I'll post some shorts, do something like that. But it's going to do it for me. So if you guys enjoy this, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you don't already. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks again for making JE Live another success. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Later, folks.